high-speed chase suspect is dead after shots were fired. DPS says the chase started in White Oak, where White Oak police initially responded. East Texas News Weekend's Bob Hallmark has more.
Just after 3:30 this morning, Longview police were notified by White Oak police that an active vehicle pursuit was entering the city limits, and they joined the response in a chase that is still unclear as to why it happened.
At this point, it's all purely speculation. We've all, I'm sure, heard stories on whether it's social media or whether it's from word of mouth.
During the pursuit, a DPS trooper also became involved. Shots were exchanged, and the subject was struck, sustaining life-threatening injuries.
It's unclear when and where the shots were fired, but the pursuit ended here at Highway 31 and Loop 281. Investigators are working two separate scenes.
According to Longview police, first aid was administered at the scene by officers and EMS was called, with the suspect later transported to a local hospital where Justice of the Peace Tim Bryan was called in to pronounce death.
There was surgery done on this subject, and he expired at the hospital a couple hours or 3 or 4 hours after the surgery had been completed. His name is Danny Ray Jackson. He's a 47-year-old male from Longview.
Both DPS and Longview police have confirmed that no officers involved were injured.
We are going to send Mr. Jackson as a procedure. We send people that have been involved in shootings like this for a post-mortem examination, and we're going to send him to Tyler for a post-mortem examination, and that should be completed within the next couple days.
Bob Hallmark, East Texas News Weekend.
No word on what started the pursuit. Texas Rangers are currently investigating the case.